Go.
I'm going. I'm trying. I'm literally so tired right now after this weekend.
This weekend that is really a week
away
before
this
podcast, before people listen to this podcast.
We time traveled, but I mean, I feel like I got more sleep while we were at the convention than when I got home and was in my bed. But I think my dogs were like, he's home, let's kick him out of bed like we always do and take his spot. So I was battling my dogs all night, which was great because I missed them. But at the same point, I was like, I just want to sleep.
Yeah, I went to the grocery store this morning and the dog was not happy. She was very happy when I got back. She's like, you're leaving for 5 days again?
5 days? No.
Yeah, we just got back from Ocon, or formerly known as Omaha Comic-Con. And
Ocon Expo in Omaha.
To Ocon Expo. We had a great time. And I thank Matt for inviting us out, and thank Iggy and the Project Nerd crew for having us do all sorts of fun things. I got to host a whole bunch of cool panels. You got to host a bunch of cool panels. I got to host a bunch of cool panels, be part of panels, and meet a bunch of really amazing folks all weekend. It was a blast. I've gone a couple years before, but this year, especially being able to have the experience, share the experience with you and Mike and Brett was bar none just the best. Yeah, that's Brett. Now I'm afraid to say his last name because you've been telling me how to say it wrong for like a year. And Michael Tanner.
Yeah.
Brett, of course, does the art for Starlight. Michael Tanner. Mike does Mike does the co-writing for Junior Braves of the Apocalypse and your upcoming secret project.
But he's also the co-writer for Orcs in Space.
Oh yeah, and then we also got to hang out a lot with some really great folks. Andy Parks, Phil Hester, Bob Hall, the legend.
Oh my gosh.
Talked to Daryl Skelton. I'm sorry, I forgot his wife's name, but
sweetheart. She is so sweet, so nice, and she was just so just made us feel like we had a mom with us.
I may have spent a bundle on a commission from Bob Hall.
No. I mean, when you're getting knowledge dropped on you all the time, all weekend, it's easy to be like, I can't repay this with anything. So I mean, I wish to just give you tons of money. Here's all this cash that I just made.
Yeah, Bob Hall is like a living history book. He's fantastic and nice and just kind. And honestly, everybody we dealt with there was great. Jim Meschling. Make sure to say Jim's name. Try to say Jim's name right. But, he hosted his panel.
Yes,
as well. We got to see wrestling and all sorts of things.
So just so people understand this, they set up a wrestling ring in the middle. So there's an arena in which all the Comic-Con festivities and activities are going on, and then in the second portion of the expo hall, so this is split up into 3 areas. So there's the arena, which that's where the Comic-Con is happening. In the second portion, that's where the wrestling is happening, and there's a wrestling ring and wrestling going on for the whole 3 days to win the Ocon Expo belt.
Ocon Pop Culture Championship Wrestling.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to mess it up.
It's a giant belt. There's a picture.
I left. I was the last person to have the belt on my waist.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess Dan is champion. You're the champion, I guess. So
that's amazing.
Everyone, all y'all out there that may have wanted to take that seat, Dan is the reigning champ.
I got the picture to prove it.
Got the picture to prove it, and the arm to show that he is the one.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that arm. So, no. What I'll say, we also did a couple of really fun panels there, and one is a panel that your co-author came up with called "Burn After Pitching."
Yeah. Burn After Pitching.
And that inspired me after we did US 1 number 3.
Ooh, that was something. That was special. I
needed some palate cleanser before we jump back into some of the serious things we were doing before. So I found an issue of What If from 1982, issue number 34. And if you don't know, Marvel Comics What If can be anything from a really great serious issue about, what if something happened in the Marvel universe is like alternative tales. We mentioned this before. DC calls theirs Elseworlds or an imaginary story. They did back in the Silver Age, and Marvel Comics calls theirs What If. And in What If, a lot of times it can be actually a really serious story. Like you could have, what if Uncle Ben had lived, and how would he interact with Spider-Man? What if Elektra lived? Which may show up here.
Maybe. You never know.
By Frank Miller. Well, that's cool, right? Since Frank Miller killed her, see what he would have done if she was alive, right? So I should say super serious, but serious, things that what if Gwen Stacy lived, right? Things like that. So a lot of fun things.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, this issue is not that.
It is not. It is absolutely bonkers. It is.
And I should have been warned, because on the front, up in the little panel, so the Watcher always opened the story, and the Watcher would tell you, hey, I watched the universes, and in a different universe, this could have happened. And in this particular one, under the $1.30, the price of the comic, the Watcher is crying. And then the Watcher on the front says, stop, don't buy this issue. And I should have listened. You should have listened. We've got an insane cover. We've got like an Iron Man that looks like Iron Woman that looks like she has.
It looks like the best way to describe this Iron Man
tennis rackets.
Okay, if you've ever watched Spaceballs and you've seen the C-3PO, it looks like they took the same artistic direction and made that into an Iron Man. It is fantastic. I love it.
We've got Moon Knight throwing a pie at Silver Surfer. We've got Reed Richards in a halter top. We've got Cyclops shooting beams out of his ears. I'm not sure what's up with that Spider-Man. He's got bug eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
We've got Fat Iron Man.
Yeah,
he's only halfway on the page. I think that was the joke.
Mm-hmm.
We've got
you got Thor.
I don't know what's going on with Captain America there.
Oh yeah, Captain America got a mustache.
It looks like Doctor Doom is an actual doctor. It looks like Ghost Rider is being who's wheeling around Ghost Rider there.
I don't know.
I know who that is. We got a few other things going on. Thor's hammers for rent.
Yeah.
The funny thing is Wolverine scratching his head with his foot. I was like, Wolverine looks pretty normal there.
Yeah, pretty normal.
We've got Ant-Man trying to light the Watcher on fire.
That's a Man Thing, I think, pushing.
It's Man Thing. Okay, yeah, pushing around
but
Ghost
Thor
Rider.
Looks like Thor from Adventures in Babysitting. Legit.
Yeah. And then we've got Daredevil has like an arrow through his head.
Yeah, comical.
Okay.
You got Doctor Strange doing magic tricks with a rabbit.
And Sue Storm's next to him, but her clothes are showing.
And she's disappeared.
And the Watcher says, if only I could violate my sacred trust and again meddle in human affairs, I would save you from this. The Marvel Universe has gone crazy, and the alternate realities will never be the same again.
No, they won't.
And Thor is down in the bottom winking at us.
Mm-hmm.
And this was approved by the Comics Code Authority.
So it's safe to read.
Though I'm not sure why.
I don't know why either. This is again, if you're not familiar with these types of books, this is like if Marvel did a Mad magazine, this is on par.
Well, and Marvel, I believe, did a magazine later called What the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a bunch of those.
What If and What the was their attempt at comedy magazine though. They did a lot of attempts at comedy magazines over the years.
I was a sucker for them. I found myself like, because I always like the absurd.
I had one where it was like the Avengers. I think it was the Revengers and the Just Us League.
The Just Us League.
And like Plastic Man and Reed Richards, or Elongated Man and Reed Richards, like were chasing, but they had different names, of course, but they were chasing each other through the whole issue, and they kept stretching through all the pages.
Yeah.
Kind of like that one. I think I may have that book. But anyway, we get Stan Lee presents a stunning saga of an alternate reality. And I'll read through the first page, but we're definitely not going to read through every page.
It's a lot.
I am the Watcher, one of all ancient race of extraterrestrial beings who has undertaken to observe all the worlds in the known universe with potential for life. From my vantage point here on the moon, I have watched the planet Earth and witnessed the entire pageant of human history. Lately, I have learned to gaze beyond the veneer of the reality in which we live and to peer into the alternate realities of the greater multiverse. Every significant event in history is fraught with potential, the potential to change the very course of history by its outcome. At these critical junctures, reality itself diverges into two or more distinct worlds, each embracing a different course of history. By observing these realities where events had other outcomes, I often gain insights into the reality in which I dwell. Today, I wish to share with you the most awe-inspiring alternate reality I have ever witnessed, a world in which you will learn. And then a different watcher pops out of the page.
Yes.
And says, bah, enough of this super serious pseudoscientific claptrap. Let's have some fun for once. Let's do a whole book full of alternate unrealities. I mean, haven't you wondered what if the Watcher were a stand-up comedian? And I'm going to say no.
I would say yes.
I've never wondered if that. Well, and we're doing this also in honor, like we said, of Mike's panel, Burn After Pitching, where he or the audience members send a pitch idea out to the panelists, and the panelists have to try to build a story out of it. And that's exactly what this book is. So,
yeah, we got a lot of different things to discuss during that panel and come up with a lot of different pitch ideas that were sometimes super fantastical and sometimes very, very.
I don't think any of them were super fantastical.
Oh, I thought they were great.
Well, we go to the first page. What was that? Jeez. It seems like an alternate world where I can't talk. And we get to the first page, and we get a Fred Hembeck original.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know Fred Hembeck has done sketch art forever. And basic cartoony style. And I don't know what to tell you. If you've never seen a Hembeck, just go look it up. You'll find them.
Look it up. You should. And you'll, as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, yes, I know this.
And he gives us some nice panels. What if the Fantastic Four were bananas? Like literal bananas.
Literal bananas.
What if Odin were Peter Parker's uncle?
Whoa.
And he does stick around. He doesn't die this time.
Yeah.
What if Don Blake and Tony Stark were brothers?
Interesting.
And he says, give me back my walking stick so I can become Thor. What if Aunt May were Ant-Man?
What?
And what if Spider-Man married Spider-Woman?
Whoa. I feel like some of these are foreshadowing for future books.
It could be. I don't know that the Aunt May Ant-Man book is going to be a big hit.
No, I don't think so. But, Thor, Spider-Man.
Well, we get a few other fantastic ideas. What if Reed Richards took Postman Willie Lumpkin up on his offer to join the Fantastic Four? What if Captain America chose to remain nomad, the man without a country? What if at some point Rick Jones decided to leave Captain Marvel in the negative zone and never return to Earth again?
Never again.
I think we would have all been better off.
Maybe.
What if Nick Fury had to wear an eye patch on his right eye? And by the way, we would have been better off because he's not really Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, well, anyway, went to a wizard named Shazam. And anyway, what if Nick Fury had to wear an eye patch on his right eye instead of his left eye?
Couldn't see.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to give Mr. Hembeck a D.
A D.
What would you give him?
I mean,
these are great pitch stories.
I think they're fun. They're fun. They're
fun Fred Hembeck drawings, but as far as actually become a story,
I mean, they give you just enough to get a giggle. Each one of these panels is a fun, Far Side-esque kind of, what. But okay.
Well, now we get a Tom DeFalco, the man who destroyed Spider-Man, and Dave Simmons.
Yeah, a very different type of style.
Did you know, by the way, I looked this up. We were talking about Star Comics in our last panel.
Oh, yeah.
Tom DeFalco was the editor of Star Comics.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and they did actually have, they had 6 original characters, and everything else was licensed. These were the kids' books we were talking about in the last episode.
The
one I'd never seen,
Ewoks,
Misty.
Yeah.
The one that everybody remembers because he's still famous. Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
Planet Terry, who I think a lot of people know. Royal Roy, not saying I remember that one at all. And Top Dog. Top Dog.
Yeah, Top Dog.
I do bring this up because they make fun of DC later in this issue, but then they did it themselves like 2 years later. All right, so we got this one. What if Ghost Rider had possessed someone else?
What if?
Ghost Grandpa.
Oh, no.
Give me my warm milk now, or suffer the eternal torments of the damned. Ghost Skater. Beware, mortals, I am sworn to harass the evil, punish the guilty, and most important of all, make certain the disco is really dead.
I mean, honestly, if there was a Ghost Skater in a derby competition or something like that, I mean, lead jammer for sure. I mean,
yeah, I'm thinking like Ghost Skater would be cool, and Ghost Baby, which I'm not even dignify here because I hate that kind of humor.
Ghost Baby. Wow. Yeah.
All right. What if everyone who'd ever been... Now, I love this one. You know what? Jim Shooter, who I have been mean to forever, but I love this. Especially Jim Shooter being a former Legion of Superheroes person, too, because Legion's always accused of having way too many people. So I think there is a little bit of double meaning here with Shooter writing this page. And Bob Hall. Bob Hall. We met that guy. He was the penciler on this one. And Brett Breeding was the inker. But I can just basically describe this to you. It's just a crap ton of Avengers all in the same room. And I wish I had known this was here, because if I had this, I totally would have got this page signed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He must have I would love to go back and ask him about this page just to say, did you love this or did you hate drawing all these things for one page? Like, because I'm assuming his page rate didn't go up. And Jim Shooter just hands him this thing and says, draw every Avenger.
Draw all the Avengers because they never left. It's like literally you look at this page and it's jam-packed with every single Avenger ever.
Yeah, and Jarvis says, my word, I nearly 200 gallons of tea and 678 skulls. Scones. Skulls. Wow, skulls. Jeez.
Wow.
Jeez, Dan. Okay, well, we gotta keep moving through here. All right, we get a Mark Grunwald page with Ron Zalman, Al Milgram on art. Our good friend Al from US1 who wrote those. Yeah. I just saying, but I kind of like Al back in the art chair here, not in the writing chair.
Yeah.
But again, he had to write US1. So maybe he took on the responsibility of US1 just to say, hey guys, I'll do anything.
I can do it. I can write. I'm a one-man machine. Just like Ulysses in US1, a one-man machine. I got a brain like a TV brain.
We get the one-liner joke. What if him had married her, and it's just a picture of a family?
Yes. Him, her, them.
Better jokes. What if Black Bolt got the hiccups, and reality is bending everywhere, and people are dying? It's nice. And what if Galactus ate the Earth, and he just has a big ball in his belly?
He's a chunky boy.
And then we get, this is one of my favorite ones in here. What if Kazar were a middle-aged accountant instead of a savage?
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Brett Anderson did a good job with this little one-pager.
And Kazar gets his face permanently lasered off. Yeah. And he plays for it with vibranium.
Yeah.
And he goes to accounting school off the back of a match book.
Yeah, he finds his true calling.
Well, we're plowing through these pitches. Let us know which pitch you like.
Yeah,
tell us. With us on Facebook or Twitter.
Twitter, yeah, or Threads,
Instagram. Mm-hmm. Threads, I haven't quite figured out yet, but we're there.
We're there. It's a.
No, maybe this will show up there.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And we're on YouTube now.
Hey, YouTube! What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
new. You can listen to us on YouTube Music if you want the podcast feed, or if you prefer to have a podcast with a video running in the background that just has the picture of our logo on it, so you can do it that way too.
Yay!
What if the Hulk were yellow? Okay.
He's not.
What if the Invisible Girl dyed her hair?
Okay.
I'm going to skip one of these.
Okay, fair enough.
And what if the Thing were blue?
It's slobbering time.
Slobbering time
because he's crying because he's sad. I'd be sad too.
And then we get some Al Milgram or Alan Milgram. Is this Milgram? Sorry, I say it wrong. Is this our Al Milgram that wrote, or is this a different?
I think it is the same.
What if his name was written out? He says, what if Captain Marvel hadn't died? And Captain Marvel's thinking, gosh, I feel great. Nothing much going on in the universe. Guess I'll just fly a couple of rings around Saturn and call it a day.
Yep.
What if Phoenix still lived? Golly, Scott, life sure has been wonderful since I shook off the curse of Phoenix. Want to take in a movie? He's like, sure, let's catch ordinary people again. Get it?
That's a good timely joke for the.
And what if Elektra had survived? Wait, that's the next issue.
It is the next issue. of What If.
Yeah, well,
it's foreshadow.
I guess I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Then we get a page of What If Dazzler Had Become a Stand-Up Comedian by Danny Fingeroth and Frank Springer. Hey, remember Frank Springer from last episode? He drew The Amazing Adventures of U.S. Archer.
He did.
And Danny Fingeroth, who's best known for being an editor and an amazing nonfiction writer and preserver of history for comics. But Danny, this pitch is getting burned.
Because it's not so funny.
It's not. It doesn't light up the page.
I mean, we all love Dazzler, but
Dazzler, it doesn't light up the page.
I get it.
You didn't pop
for
it.
It doesn't shine.
It's all right. Dazzler. Now we get Roger Stern with Ed Hannigan and Al Milgrom, and Al Milgrom went to work on this issue.
Oh yeah, he was like, okay, let's do it.
And we get What If Marvel Comics and the National Endowments of the Arts presented spiny intellectual stories. God, this is awful.
I kind of would watch this or read it because, boy, oh boy, you get all those good, smart things and with all the fun.
Yeah, and the Watcher's yawning at the end of this one. He's asleep.
He's like, oh, boring. Boo.
All right, we got a couple more quick ones.
Yeah.
What if Willie Lumpkin, the postman, were the herald to Galactus?
Have a nice day.
And they got a letter from him that said, "Dear Earthlings, your planet will be eaten tomorrow." So that was okay. Snail mail. Remember what if Ghost Rider owned a fast food franchise?
I don't know if I'd want to eat there.
Flame broiled.
Oh yeah, you don't have it your way though. That is, you have it his way.
What if all the superheroes who now lived in New York moved to Toledo, Ohio?
Ohio. It's always Ohio. Only in Ohio.
Ohio. Round on the end, high in the middle.
Yes.
You don't know the song?
No, I don't. I don't know the song, Ann.
Well, it's round on the end and high in the middle.
I mean,
how you spell it.
I guess they would save a lot on their apartments.
Bob Budiansky, writer and artist on these gems. I'm just wondering, see, this is a weird one because we had a live audience. I'm just wondering what the audience is thinking about these. Like I said, message us back if you like these or not. Otherwise, go. Yeah. We've got Mary Jo Duffy and Terry Austin this time. This has got to be good, right? What if the Watcher watches what if the Watchers in all realities got to watch and Watchers watching Watchers watching Watchers watching Watchers? I actually think this one's funny. It's like, I honestly think Inception just stole the idea for Inception off of this.
It is very Inception-like because you'd have Watchers watching Watchers watching Watchers watching Watchers.
Yeah, I feel that might have been an episode of Rick and Morty too. I'm not sure. But
it's a lot of Watchers watching each other.
And the last Watcher panel just says, "Quit, Terry." So stop crying. All right. Now we get a stab at Roy Thomas and Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew, which I thought was mean. But it's a Howard the Duck page. So we've got Dan O'Neill, the famous Dan O'Neill.
Yeah.
Is he related to Denny O'Neill in any way?
I don't know. We should look that up.
I did look up. Denny O'Neill was actually editing for Marvel at this time. Or maybe they're making fun of the Space Canine Patrol. I don't know. But Howard the Duck, it's what if Howard the Duck formed his own super team, which would never happen because Howard the Duck came from the Duck Dimension.
But he's an animal, so he can get all those animals together.
That's fair. I mean, Lockjaw would be fun to have around.
Lockjaw, Devil Dinosaur, Red Wing, Aragon, Dragon Man, Zabu, Emma, all those crazy animal or animal
could join up and
animals or whatever assemble.
Well, they made fun of DC right in the thing, so
yeah.
We've got what if Thor had a Swedish accent? What if Cyclops energy beams came out of his ears? And what if Wonder Man were a Wonder blank and Power Man were a girl? Not sure why Power Man wouldn't be a woman. By Mark Grunwald and Brett Breeding, but they were told that they couldn't say Wonder Woman. So there we go. We've got what if Black Bolt were a rock star? And we've just got Black Bolt singing, looking a lot like Roger Stern wrote this, and Budiansky and Jack Abel. Jack Abel inked this? Okay. And we've got a very Rolling Stone looking set here.
He's got that Mick Jagger. He's singing, can't get no satisfaction. And I don't think anybody in the audience got any satisfaction from that.
Okay. And then we keep going. What if Daredevil were deaf instead of blind? I don't get this one. Frank Miller did this one.
Interesting.
Frank Miller did the art and instead he's just talking to people, or no, people are talking to him. And then after they've talked to him, he asks them who's going to talk first. I'm not sure I get this one.
They're telling him
too meta for me.
Yeah, it's like they're telling him if he stops beating them up, they'll tell him everything, and he just keeps beating them up. It's
okay. Oh, that's what. Okay, you see, you got it. I didn't really get it. I was like, this seems.
They're like, stop hitting us.
And then we get what if the Marvel production crew existed in this reality, and then we just get all of the production crew's bios.
Yeah,
for 2 pages,
funny sketches, great headshots.
All right. Joe Abello, writer, artist on this one. Oh, and if you go back a page, you'd find out that Joe Abello, if you go back 2 pages, is the art director for Marvel Comics. And he gets a page and he says, what if Tony Stark had owned an auto plant instead of a weapons factory?
Oh, he'd be a Transformer.
Apparently.
Yeah, he looks very, oh no, he looks more like a GoBot, but I mean, oh, poor Tony.
Wow.
I mean,
Kmart Transformers?
Yeah, he doesn't. His style doesn't look very much like a Transformer. It looks more like a GoBot to me. But
what if Sue Storm had become the Thing? And we get Ben Grimm invisible and Sue Storm is the Thing.
Yeah. Super.
And what if Moon Knight got all his identities mixed up?
I mean, don't we get that in this show? That's foreshadowing. Come on.
Good job, Magic Batman. Okay.
They read this and they said, all right, we're going to just make a show and run with it.
And then we get Bob Layton, Carlin, and Brown. All of them. It took 3 people to write this page, and Bob Layton drew it. Oh, that's down at the bottom. That's what if Alpha Flight talked like TV Canadians? There's just like a lot of A's and
it's literally the scene. Just to set the scene, this is a Bob and Bob. Like this is like this is. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
But Strange Brew didn't come out till a year later.
It's so Strange Brew though.
But it is Bob and Doug McKenzie. Yeah, this is just
they got it from.
And they're making fun of John Bart on the wall. Okay. Oh, yeah. And what if the Watcher grew hair? He just grows hair.
Yeah, it just grows hair. He's going to be in the musical.
All right, and now we have some that are right up your alley by Tom DeFalco, the best Spider-Man writer ever.
Yes,
I know Tom DeFalco is your favorite Spider-Man writer, right?
I mean, I can't say anything bad.
You can't even be nice.
I can't say anything bad.
What if the Silver Surfer, White Tiger, Knight Rider, Iceman, and Moon Knight fought Wendigo in a snowstorm, and it's just a white page?
That's fantastic.
This dude is.
That is fantastic.
This is how you get to write Spider-Man.
It's like looking at white rice on a paper plate.
And then what if Black Panther fought the Shroud in a coal mine?
It's like looking at a chalkboard.
Black square.
Yeah, these are amazing.
Fantastic. These are good pitches.
They are the best.
You know, what I can say is this is making me feel better about my ability to pitch.
Doesn't it make you feel like you look at this? These people are super professionals. I mean, they have books under their belt.
Well, now we get a Bill Sienkiewicz page. Nobody's going to complain about that.
No, this is eye candy. This is beautiful. I mean, eye candy.
What if Moon Knight had 3 different identities? Chuck Glickman, the ruthless vermin exterminator. Murray Bushbaum, who parlayed Glickman's ill-gotten gains into millions of shrewdly capitalizing on the growing market for rat fur coats. And Ned Colguts, an editor for a major comic book company who receives tips on criminal activities by associating with freelancers and other lower life forms. Do you think Bill was feeling hurt by the big 2 when he wrote this one?
I would say maybe a little bit. I mean, I like it because every panel on this just oozes greatness. It's really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. And all we're not going to read through the whole page, but it is like everything on it is like boom, boom, boom. This is good. This is a good page.
I think it's a good pitch. I think these are good identities for Magic Batman.
Yeah. Magic Batman. Boom. I love it.
What if King Conan were being a Conan? What? Oh. Elliot Brown writer, Elliot Brown, and Joe Sinnott on the art. And basically we get a Bing Crosby romp.
I love it. I want the singing. I want the dancing. I want the numbers. I want all the fun.
And for that one, we even get a what's next. I'm giving the last two pitches an A+. These are
A. These like, yeah. I mean,
these are prime bird after pitching material.
We had a couple of C's. We had a couple of D's. We had a B or two. We had a definite F on the list.
And now we're going to get back into the Groaners by Badinsky and John Romita Jr. What if Black Bolt hosted a television show?
Yeah.
Television talk show. And the person's like, aren't you going to ask me any questions?
What
if Bruce Banner's pants... Admittedly, this is one everybody asked. What if Bruce Banner's pants didn't stretch when he became the Hulk? Would he really be the Hulk?
It's the question.
And then what if you went to the movies and had to sit behind the leader? And for our listeners who don't know who the leader is, he's just got a big green head.
It's like Megamind. That puts it in context for a lot of people that might be younger that don't know. It's like, oh yeah, big head. Okay.
All right, now we get more Mark Grunwald. Mark Grunwald must have been a big fan of puns because he was all over this book. And Bob Layton inked him on this one. What if Aunt May became a superhero?
Mm-hmm.
She could have become the Golden Oldie, which is an Iron Man variant.
Okay, so that's the female Iron Man. Okay.
Yeah, she could have been the astonishing Aunt.
I like it.
Yeah, or she could have become Anti-Freeze. She's like Iceman, but she's Anti-Freeze. Yeah. I kind of like it. I think she should be Anti-Freeze, personally.
That's a pretty chill joke.
What if Reed Richards had not invented unstable molecules, and Reed Richards stretches and he has a halter top? Sue goes invisible, but her clothes are still visible, which doesn't really help her. And Johnny doesn't have any clothes because he needs to get asbestos jockey shorts.
Yes. And that's, I don't know if they make them.
And when he yells flame off this time, he probably should be really yelling flame on, let me tell you.
Because he needs to cover up.
That's a lot of Johnny right there.
That is a lot of Johnny. Luckily, that leg is right in place to hold our questions.
Just keep the audience honest. Now we get a Roger Stern and Terry Austin page. What if the Hulk married She-Hulk? Now, I was a little bit concerned about this because
I am concerned too. They're cousins.
Aren't they cousins?
Yeah, I mean, legal in some states, but
but I will say this is a cute page because we get like a Ricky and Lucy
kind of style story pitch.
Yeah. I like it. It's cute.
Yeah. It's definitely
which and then we get Stern and Austin again doing She-Hulky.
This is and it definitely has that feel of a Sunday morning comic strip.
Yeah,
that Dagwood style.
It's like a Dagwood. I see some Dagwood here.
Yeah, definitely.
I see lots of puppy dogs.
I love it. He's making a big giant sandwich. It's like, what the heck? Come on.
And then we get Stern and Austin down the bottom. Well, those are our ideas, Watcher, old pal. Did you like him? And he's all red and fuming.
Mm-hmm.
and then he beats them up. I liked it. I like these two pages.
Yeah, they're good.
That was fun.
Solid.
I can't believe they were so late in the book. All right, let's go. Now we've got, what if Norrin Rad had not volunteered to become the Silver Surfer? So he just leaves.
Just like, I'm out of here. Bye.
What if Dazzler had become a lawyer? There's a lot of Dazzler in this book. Dazzler, for you to know, was really popular for a quick second.
I mean,
this was the end of it, though. Again.
Yeah, I mean, but I could see, like, honestly, Dazzler as a lawyer would be kind of interesting and funny because, singing with her, she might dazzle the jurors. So I could see that.
Was it her whole thing, though, producing light with sound, right?
She produced light with sound.
In all of these Dazzler appearances, I haven't seen any of the light stuff happening.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, she's got a little sparkle on her wrist.
Then we get, what if Luke Cage had found the hammer of Thor? And then I don't like that one. So we're going to...
But I feel like that was done a couple of years ago.
Hey, yeah. Joe Bello would have been canceled if he ran that one now. Let's just say that. Yeah. So here's one for you fans of the Ledger domain. Imagine a world where there is no sorcery and, you'll know the answer. I'm an idiot. I can't read. We got Roger Stern again and Mary Severin on this one. And in this one, I actually like this. Doctor Strange is an ordinary magician. And Dormammu shows up at the end and just asks him to pick a card. Okay.
It's good
I
stuff.
like that. That one is cute.
It's cute.
I don't think it's going anywhere, but it definitely needs to be burnt after pitching. So we agree. I don't know who this is at all. What if Benoxy the Clown had fought crime? I have no idea who this is.
You know, I don't know either, but I do like all the panels that are in it because they're absolutely bonkers.
Well, he has a lot of different superhero personas. We've got a clown detective. We've got a clown Dark Knight detective. We got a clown Spidey.
Yes.
We got a clown Hulk. We've got a clown Wolverine. We've got a clown Daredevil, and we've got a clown Superman.
Yeah, and a clown Watcher.
No.
The Noxy Watchy.
That's your alternative persona, is the clown watcher.
If the clown watcher, because I watch things as a clown. It's true, I do.
What if Daredevil could see, and he's just, next page. Michael Carlin, Ron Zalamy, and Brett Breeding. What if Daredevil could see, and he's not the man without fear anymore? He's just running away from the villains.
He's like, oh no, I'm out.
What if Thor got a haircut and his helmet falls over his eyes?
Yeah.
Thor would never get a haircut. So, and what if Spider-Man had married Black Widow and they took this very literally? How did this get past the comic code?
Wow. Yeah.
Black Widow is eating Spider-Man.
Wow. It's rough.
Well, she's cleaning her teeth after eating Spider-Man. That's
nothing but bones and an empty suit.
That's like the ones you won't let me say when we're doing burn after pitching. Like I'll lean over to you and say, I'm allowed to say this. And you're like, no, Dan, no.
Hey, you gotta, as we say, read the room.
What if Iron Man had an eating problem instead of a drinking problem? Then, and this was later made into a movie
where he's like, I'm just gonna eat these burgers, all of them, which I mean, you know, arguably is probably much better than drinking. I mean,
hey, and we've got Bethany Cave in there. See,
yeah.
And this was done by Romita Jr. and Bob Layton, our intrepid crew on the Iron Man romp we just finished up.
Yeah, so it's fitting.
All right, Carlin, Izami, and Milgram. All right, what if Dr. Doom had a sense of humor and he just looks like...
he looks like Stanley. Okay, got it. Okay.
No, he doesn't look like Stanley.
He looks like Groucho Marx.
He looks like Groucho Marx.
Stanley.
What if Galactus needed quick cash? He's selling Silver Surfer.
I mean,
what will happen
get a lot of money.
And then at our last page, what will happen if Stanley reads this issue? And he's just saying, you're all fired. Enough said. And after reviewing this one, this is probably one I don't recommend you go ahead and pick up. But, you know, it was fun to do after the podcast.
It was fun to do. Yeah, for sure. Definitely fun to do after the podcast.
And after nice palette cleanser for us. And I don't have the specific issue for us yet to get back on track, but we will get back into our Drugs and Comics series. Eventually, we will review Extraction. And we'll also, you know, like I said, get back to Drugs and Comics series. So we'll get back on that, but we will try to pepper a few of these with some fun ones in here too, because it sounded like the audience at Ocon liked it when we were having fun with some US 1. So
yeah, and it was really cool that you found a copy of US 1 #1. So hopefully if we get enough people that want that, we will get that content on the podcast for you all. So please,
I ask you not to share that fact.
No, message us and let us know. I know that Tracy tried really hard to get us that US 1 #3. So I appreciate that.
And I just don't think we need to go back to #1.
I think we should. I think we really need to find out the origin story.
Look, and here's what I will promise.
But we should do it.
We discovered that Steve Ditko drew the last issue of US 1 #12. And if you find an issue of US 1 that Steve Ditko drew, that's the #12 issue, and that shows up in my hands, I will review it. Because that's got to be nuts.
I think if we get enough people that say they want #1, we have to do it. Even if we have one person that says we need to do #1, we have to do it. It's just the people have spoken. They have spoke. We need to do it.
Well, Greg, so you have 1 minute. You have 1 minute, literally 1 minute to pitch anything you need to pitch right now.
I have plug go. All right. Well, we're kicking off another Kickstarter for Starlight. So please be standing by for all those updates coming up soon from the Starlight Kickstarter page and from our Facebook page. That's all I have.
And that will likely be launching in August.
Yes.
So look out for that. And I really have nothing to pitch today. We just got back from Ocon. We had an amazing time, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, sometimes Threads, on X,
whatever it's called. I don't know.
Well, if you were on X, this issue would have been more fun to read. So that's fair. And with that note, it's been another fantastic, wonderful episode of Funny Book Forensics. Thanks for listening, our one listener. And if we have more than one listener now, because 4 more joined.
Yeah. And no,
success.
Make that 6 because 2 were puppets. So we got 2 more. We have puppet listeners too. Isn't that rad? That's pretty cool.
Well, thank goodness that was What If number 34, and we're out again.
Bye-bye.